We thought we'd talk to you a little bit about the Eclipse 500 jet in particular. It's an amazing aircraft, originally designed really actually in the early 2000s and then produced starting in around 2007 to 2016. I've been flying them since 2008, owned one for several years, and Tigre and I were just talking about it today as we were flying this one and said, hey, why don't we tell people a little bit about the jet? It's a really cool jet. It has a maximum takeoff weight of 59.95 pounds. Those Pratt & Whitney engines that you see back there, those generate 900 pounds of thrust. So imagine those two together is about 1,800 pounds of thrust. With that, this plane can go up to like a true airspeed of 370 knots. Typically when I'm flying up at 41,000, which is its service ceiling, I can get between, depending upon the temperatures outside, 335 to about 350 knots true airspeed. And it has a very high VMO. Basically one of the highest in these light jets. So its VMO is up to 285. So you can imagine that. It's much faster than a Citation Mustang, which is 250, or even the CJ, which is 265, the 525. So let's talk a little bit about the plane. Some of the plane is done as manufactured using friction stir welding, which is really cool. Look it up. Eclipse has a patent on that for aviation. So basically a high-speed mandrel. It goes between two pieces of aluminum and fuses them together into one piece. It has a clamshell door. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Up front in the bonnet area, we have two batteries. So it has a system and a standby, which is pretty unique when it was developed. When you think about that, only recently light jets have two batteries, and usually not as large as the ones that are in here. There's a company called Resurgent Aero, RAS, that has upgrades for the batteries, and they're amazing. You can put a 34 amp battery in here, which is huge for start, and then you've got a 24 usually on the other side for a system. Also in here is their air conditioning. It's really nice, 2-zone air conditioning. Very cool. Digital control, contrary to what you get in a lot of jets these days. Light jets, you can actually set the temperature. Up here is our radar. Of course, in here, these are precipitation static wicks. In here, typically, it's a Rockwell Collins RDR 2000 radar. On both sides, we have this is a combination pitot and angle of attack probe, quite unique. There's one on both sides, and then a standby up on the top. As we come back around, maybe we'll show that to you again. So that's really cool about that. The static ports are here. That's the only thing I don't like about them. They're up here, which you can collect moisture, but of course, my company, Personal Wings, Tigre and I designed covers that'll cover that. Beautiful glass windshields on the latest upgrades. We just polished these. Emergency exit in through here, landing lights. Then it uses pneumatic boots on the wings for de-ice. These are made by Zodiac Aerospace. So, and these little things, if you see them as we're walking around, we're going around touching up paint. If you see little marks on it, on the plane. And coming on over here, these are our tip tanks. Really nice design tip tanks. And then through here we have our lights, and this is where we fuel the plane. So on each side, we get 127.2 is the full capacity on each side. Basically, the full fuel is 1698, and that all, it depends upon temperature, what you really can, in pounds, whether you can get all that or not, of course, because of the density of the fuel changes with temperature. So tip tanks are really nice clean wing, very smooth. Here are ailerons, very effective ailerons in through here on this plane. The flaps we've got, of course, on the inboard here. And then this is that beauty, that little Pratt & Whitney engine. It's really nice, about a little bit over 300 pounds weight, dry weight. And that's where we do the oil, obviously, and set that up. We just set that up. Actually added some oil here today. And then on this engine, if you want to take a look inside, you can see this puppy in through here. And you see our engine. There's the fan, the N1 section. And then on the pylon, put that puppy cover back up. Up here, this is where we have pylon coolers, and that's where we control the temperature of the bleed air. Air comes in through here, and there's a VCS door. The tail is a really nice T-tail design. So there's those little marks. We're doing a little touch-up again. So you got these little green piece of masking tape. We have outside air temperature probes here. Very effective rudder. It has a very good yaw damper system up there. And then there's our horizontal stabilizer, also with pneumatic boots for the de-icing. And then come back around here. Very nice bright tail strobe. I mean, talk about a bright tail strobe. Contrary to some other planes have these little itty bitty strobes, this puppy's got all these multi-elements. So that's the basic idea of the plane. You see another outside air probe over here to give you an idea. We've got our tail. The other, of course, left engine. It has a very small compartment up here. We'll show you in a minute. Nobody uses it anymore for this little thing in through here. So this is a small compartment that was designed at one time to put covers in and so forth, but nobody uses it anymore because they don't want any risk of that maybe popping open or anything getting into the engine. It's a little dirty, so we got to clean it. We just got done flying it, Tigre and I. Come back around, check. We just did a quick thing. Now, the really cool thing, let's look at the gear. So the gear is a trailing link gear, and it's really cool. So it makes makes landings very easy for pilots and very smooth for pilots and passengers. So it's well designed and has a great job. Oh, and the little thing we see, no chocks under the door, just so that people don't put chocks under there. And then as you fill up the plane, the weight comes down onto the nose itself. So over here, one thing we talked about on the other side, but we forgot to tell you on this side, over here is that other pitot probe. So these pitot probes, which are also angle of attack, right? So here's the primary, the other side is for the co-pilot, and this is our standby, and through here, so that's probe. And again, it does both pitot and angle of attack, all in one probe. Really cool. So the plane has 6 seats, but I tell you, it'd be really hard to get 6 people in it. I've flown the plane with 6 people, and you do not want to be the people in the back. It's okay if you're crew, but you don't want to sit in the back. It's just no leg room, right? A model that they thought they were going to come out with is the 700, if they ever do, would have more leg room, but this one does not. So it's great for 4. So clamshell door, nice little steps in through here. And then we're going to show you the interior. We're going to show you the avionics. But right now, you can get an idea of how this is typically set up. Most people will set it up with 4 seats. So the people in the back here have lots of room, tremendous amount of baggage room back there. You can put lots of things in there. Easy, if you have 4 people, you can put all their baggage that they have. Nice baggage area, very comfortable seats, very quiet airplane. In flight, it's around 79 to 80 decibels in flight at 410. Beautiful lighting system that they have in the aircraft as well. It's really cool. So it's very nice cabin comfort and lots of room. And I tell you, when you're tall, I'm only 6'2", but Tigre's 6'6". When you hop in the front seat of these Eclipses, you go, oh, why didn't everybody else design it like this, right? You can stretch out, you got room, the seats recline, they're comfortable, the cockpit is pretty quiet. It's just a really well-designed cockpit. So we'll talk a little bit else about the plane in case you want to know. So in through here, it has this is a passive pressurization seal in through here. So the pressurization seal, when you increase the pressure inside from the bleed air pressurization, of course, from the engine, then that will seal the plane in through here. Some planes have a pneumatic door seal, like on the CJs, that's Citation 525s, the Mustangs, and these, for an example, is all passive. It's totally by inside pressure seals it, and it works really, really well. So we'll give you an idea of inside the airplane, and we'll get in there, and we'll turn on the avionics so you can see what it's like in the cockpit. So getting in, Tigre said, hey, now show me how you get in the plane. I said, okay, we'll do that, all right? So it depends. My knees aren't in the best shape, but yet easiest way is come in like this. It's pretty easy. And then you just maneuver into the front. The nice thing, as I mentioned before, is if you want to, you can put the seats way back to get in. But even not, now I'm on the right seat, right? So I could have had these seats back a little bit. In fact, this one is back. Oh, there we go. All the way. See how much easy if I had that all the way back? If it was all the way back, then it would be really easy to get in and out. So now on the right side, lots of room. See? Now there's stops you put in so the seats don't go all the way. So these are removed. So on the co-pilot side. But normally you're up around here. But even here, look at the room you've got. Lots of room. Side stick. Eat snacks easy. Got a nice armrest. It's really cool. So then we'll go on the pilot side so we show you how easy and comfortable it is over there. So over here, it's really nice. You got nice seat covers on this. Those are from Comfy Sheep, also a division of Covercraft. So the plane's pretty cool. See how much room I have? It's real comfortable. It's really nice to fly. Really good air conditioning system. When it works, we have vents up here and some down here, of course, in the back. And we have that side stick control. So here are the avionics. The display, the avionics suite is by IS&S. And it's the only one that's has it's full suite by IS&S, only aircraft. So that's one drawback. Now, some of the components in there are Garmin behind there for their transponders, for example, the comm radios or Collins, etc. So there's a lot of known major brands supplying the components inside there, but the displays and so forth is based on IS&S. And the whole system, the entire system, we basically call Avio. So when we power up the system, it has 2 batteries, but we're just going to turn on both right now just to show you systems. So it comes up, boots up really fast, right? So when we first start the plane, get that caution done. Of course, shows the door, stick pusher, fail, all these things. It's going through all of its tests. So it goes through a large number of tests as it starts, which is pretty cool. So here we have the avion. We have our standby, PFD, MFD, and of course, PFD. We have some other Eclipse videos on our YouTube channel, so you can actually see some of this in action. So in through here, here's our databases, for example. What do? Oh, you press the button, says proceed, makes it really nice. So in through here, boots up, and right away, it shows you the synoptics of your systems, something that is rare these days, except in some of the newest jets. So for example, now it's booted up here with engine on that side and fuel on that side. So if I go through some of these, we're not going to go through all the avionics, but I'll give you some idea. There's a fuel, electrical, electronic circuit breakers, which has a lot of them. Environmental, this is where I can set the temperatures in cockpit and in the cabin. And through their flight control system, this is where it actually tells me the exact position of my actuators, which is amazing, especially if you have diagnostics. Aileron, right? Perfect. And if these systems fail, I can say, hey, normal, trim, alternate, and I can just sit here and I can change it myself right here by the panel. I mean, who else can do that, right? Look at that. It's amazing. Come back to normal, and then I can adjust this again. So it's amazing. You have a lot of redundancy in this plane. Pressurization system is automatic for destination. It knows your FMS destination. That's it. Tells you everything that's going on. So you got a problem, you've got it. You can take a look at it. ICE is ICE system that shows that those are working. They're not on right now, but these are the static ports. And then the data at least is coming back that they're electrically okay right now. So that's 2 statics. We've got our primary and our standby, and the other primary on the other side, the pitot static system. So the probes and so forth. So that works out real well. It shows the temperatures outside. If we're using the engine, those things turn up green. When I'm using the boots, then those boots show up green if they're operational. So a very nice operational system. Here's our ops. This tells our hours, and through here we can do weight and balance, graphical weight and balance. How easy could that be, right? You say, okay, that's what our weight and balance is, and it shows you not only the weight but the balance. Not very many aircraft show that. Even the G1000 will do a weight, but it won't show you the balance like this on other aircraft. So I say accepted, bingo, got the accepted. Then I come out and actually I can compute my rotation speeds. That's how easy it is on this plane to do some of the things. So it's extremely well designed. This setup in through here, I can do my sensors, see how my sensors are doing, back to setup. Lots of things I can do. Installed equipment. And here in ops, we won't go into a lot of detail because we have that in another video, but we'll go through all the systems tests. It has everything in there. So a very, very integrated system without question. It's very, very cool to have this operational. Here's really nice PFDs. When I want to do my FMS, excuse me, I bring that up, and there it is. This shows the flight plan. We just came down in here. We can activate it. Bingo. That's active. Let's activate the flight plan. See, that's one to HIO, to Hillsborough if we want to. I said, no, that's not the one I want. I really want that one. Oh, yeah, that's the one I want. So you can press that, confirm it, shows waypoints. Then I press map, for example, bingo. Come over to map, generate the map. Bingo, shows you that. So it's really, really cool capability. If I want the map bigger, watch that, just make it bigger. If I want to go to a chart, let's go to the chart. Airport menu, charts, Montgomery, airport, charts. That's how easy it is to use this system. It's really, really nice. Checklist, got checklists. They have checklists in through here. It's loading checklists. Bingo. This one doesn't have checklists, and this version is in another version, but here's where we have the checklist. Audio, I can set panels. I even got a little keyboard if I want to do some functions. They didn't finish the complete functionality of this keyboard in some ways, but it's really, really powerful. And on the later versions of the software, you have more functionality than you do on the earlier versions. But for this, from example, I can press map in here, and I bring up my map. So you have that capability. Let's bring up the chart function right there. Bring that, because that's the function I have. If I have it in this mode, then it'll bring it up. So it's whatever you're using at that particular time. You can bring up the FMS. It's really pretty nice on the keyboard. This one has auto throttle, so it's really cool. I just set auto throttles and just set the speed, and off we go. So that works out really well. Flaps. Rudder trim in here, you hardly ever use it, and then we have our lighting control systems in through here. And then again, over here, we have pressurization, which is just our bleed air source we turn on. Oxygen here, turn that on. You just heard that go on. And then we can put that to auto when we're ready for departure up through the rest of our checklist. But that gives you a quick, very, very quick overview of Eclipse 500 jets and some of its functionality. On our website, personalwings.com, we also have an online course on the Eclipse. Gives you more details with some videos, etc., about how to fly the Eclipse. It's a great introduction if you're going to, if you're considering an Eclipse, or if you're learning to fly the Eclipse jet, which is an amazing aircraft. So if you like the video, press like down here, subscribe to our channel. Then you'll be the first to know about our other videos, because we have a lot of them on our YouTube channel for Personal Wings with Tigre and myself. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to producing more videos for you. Thank you.